We got Russ, we got Ryan, and we got a special True First video today. Let's get into it. All right. Super excited. We have a two-parter today. This is a special True First.
2 parts?
Well, and it's not just special because Ryan's here, because he doesn't typically join us for these videos.
No,
excited.
he doesn't.
He's doing like these back-to-back CBSI comicbookinvest.com
Right.
videos. Shout out to Topher, who puts together the True First article, pumping out a lot of comic book goodness all the time. We are coming to the table today to talk about one thing.
Video games, video games, video games.
Ryan, you
Yes.
love your video games.
Guilty.
You stream your video games on your YouTube channel. Link in the description.
Oh, yeah.
Also guilty.
How have you been liking the Spider-Man game?
I've been liking it. I just don't play it enough.
Did you know that first appearance of that character happened in Spider-Geddon?
What?
It happened in Spider-Geddon.
I did come out before the game came out.
Sure did. You know what issue it was?
0.
And it was a variant. How cool is that?
Variants are cool. I think it was Clayton Crain. If I'm
That's
not
right.
mistaken.
It
Nice.
was off the cuff. I appreciate that,
Looking
Ryan.
for my papers. I
No,
was
it's
hoping that was
good.
accurate, 'cause
No, it is accurate.
it's not even on the papers.
It's not on
Now
the
that I
papers.
see it. Ugh.
Couple different covers on that 0, but that Creighton Klein one is super pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're here to chat about some true first appearances in comic books, and we're going to be picking this up here with a Nintendo Power number 6 for good reason. We got J. Scott Campbell making his first appearance.
This
here.
blew my mind when I found this out because
Everyone needs to know this.
I remember reading Nintendo Power voraciously with all of my friends in the late 80s and early 90s, and I was a Sega kid, so I would go to my friends' houses that had Nintendo Entertainment System. We would sit down in front of that gray cartridge and blow on our cartridges and slam Akari Warriors in there and try and play the best that we can. Well, reading through Nintendo Power number 6, I never noticed that Jason Scott Campbell happened to be published his own video game. He won a contest in Nintendo Power.
He was killing the art game when he was young.
Oh my God. Was he
was
14?
Unlocking his imagination as a teenager.
Yes, he was.
That's what it says in the ad.
Oh my gosh.
Super cool. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo Power has a number of really cool key appearances in video games for obvious reasons. Let's take a look at one of my favorite video games of all time. We have Zelda.
Which one's your favorite? Got to jump in and throw that in there.
Link to the Past. Super NES.
Good.
Like, mic drop.
Good
I
pick.
like the NES actually.
NES?
Yeah, I like the first.
Oh, wow.
The first one. Yeah, I can get lost playing that game.
Can you
'cause-
speedrun that? Or do you just get
I'm-
lost in the graveyard?
No.
I get lost, I
love.
can't play that
I
game.
don't. I love working the graveyard and getting all the extra stuff because you can keep leaving and
Oh, you
coming
totally
back.
can,
and-
yeah.
and there's so many really cool secrets
Speeder.
in that game. But yeah, I love that game, Sid. And Ocarina, of course.
I'm a
Majora's
Wind Waker
Mask
okay.
was super irritating,
Wind
but I
Waker
still
kid
love
for the
it.
record. I'm going to slip that in.
Ocarina of Time. Okay, so I bought my, there was Nintendo 64. I bought Nintendo 64 knowing Ocarina would come out, and then they postponed it 12 months. My 64 sat there dusty.
No.
I did not buy any games because the only reason I bought it was for Ocarina of Time, and I devoured that game when it came out. Yes, it was
Sick.
fantastic. I
Interesting.
still like the Super NES version, but oh my God.
So you got your 64
I
because of
bought
Ocarina.
it specifically for that.
I bought. Well, actually, I did. My mom.
I was
going
going
to
to say, I was 7 years old when that thing dropped. I don't think
Yeah.
you were buying anything.
But she got me Nintendo 64 because I wanted 007.
Oh, yeah.
That
okay,
was my
GoldenEye.
game that I wanted.
Nice.
Let's talk about Zelda here because we know we got Valiant Comics. They put out 2 different covers to Legend of Zelda 1
Yep.
and 1B. Both of these comics are the first appearance in his own title, but his true first, because you know we got to go talk about like those ad appearances.
Going deep.
Let's go deep here. We have March edition 1989 Nintendo Power number 5 in an advertisement where Link appears via a Howard and Nestor comic cameo. This book predates any Valiant issue. It's the first appearance of Link in comics.
Wow, I barely remember Howard and Nestor. It was kind of a parody type thing where they would just kind of like, oh, we're hanging out in video games.
Let's take a look at another Nintendo Power coming out in 1990. We have the Best of Nintendo Entertainment System. This was a one-shot, and it featured a number of really cool up-and-coming games. One in particular, Metroid.
First appearance of Samus.
Absolutely.
I swear to
makes
God,
sense.
it was Seamus for years, and then everyone kept wondering why my Metroid character wasn't eating haggis and wearing a kilt. I mean, really. And then I found
Seamus?
out that I know. Sorry, but no. Okay, so Samus.
I think Seamus is better. I think we should just say Seamus.
I've always said the name wrong, but yes, big. Oh my God, it's a woman. You know that game was awesome too. That was another one of those like
that
8-bit
reveal at
Nintendo
the end
games.
was awesome.
Yeah, totally.
I love
Spoilers.
that GameCube game. I think they did it on 64 too, but the 3D one is like the
Metroid
first
Prime.
3D one.
That's
Yep.
GameCube, Metroid Prime.
Oh,
Metroid Prime
so
was
good.
very, very cool. Yes.
You're right. It was a GameCube exclusive,
yeah.
and that game, so good, so much fun.
It got me to like that series, and I'm not a big Metroid person.
Nice.
Let's take a look at another very popular run of my childhood. I was a kid who bought not just the red version,
Oh no.
but I bought the blue version.
Oh no.
I collected 149 Pokemon.
Dedicated.
I never got the 150th one.
Did you look under the truck?
That's good. To get that Mew. Actually, I had Mew.
Is that
so
a reference?
It is.
there a
Yeah.
Pokemon?
It's a way to get Mew.
Yep.
That's
I gave up on
that's
Pokemon
a deep
real
cut,
quick.
man.
I know.
Deep
I
cut.
thought you would just like you check under the couch cushions.
No,
Oh.
no, totally. You check under the truck.
Here's
That's
the thing.
yeah.
Russ is surprisingly good
Wow.
at puzzle games. Like this
Okay.
guy's got a DS. You could probably get an award for your DS puzzle game. You know how good
Oh
you
yeah.
are with that
That's.
stuff.
I used to play a lot. Yeah.
All right, but we got Pokemon making the list because there's a movie. There's a movie coming out that I'm actually kind of interested in seeing. It's kind of creepy in a good way.
I really think Detective Pikachu looks so good.
It looks hilarious.
I'm
Like,
actually really excited.
I'm very stoked for this movie.
All right, so this is going to be something special. That's going to be from Japan. We have first appearance of Pokemon in Pocket Monsters #1.
That is what it's short for, Pokemon.
Pocket Monsters. It's such a cool idea, man. I mean, really, Pocket Monsters. It's a pet. It's a monster.
Collecting them, fighting them. It's a cash cow.
I want to see like what this reality looks like because this is a unique world because they can't just verbatim make the show.
But you're talking Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts. They're mixing people with Pokemon and
The preview looks really, really funny, though. I do like the concept. So here they're called Pokemon. Even the Japanese cards say Pocket Monsters on the back of it. If you happen to still have your red or your blue cartridge, even without boxes, they're worth a few $100s. Last year, when Pokemon Go got super, super big, my shop is a Pokestop.
Oh, goodness.
And we had a ton of people coming in trying to see Pokemon. I had someone who had a first edition Shadowless set, and we ended up selling the Charizard. We got it graded and sold it for $3,000.
Holy
$3,000. So for those of you who threw away that shoebox of Pokemon cards,
Yeah, Mom.
kick yourself.
threw away my Pokemon cards and all my NES games. All this gold we're sitting on here.
Oh my God.
I remember being in shop in California. We would walk as a family, me, my mom, and my dad, all the way to the mall, like a few blocks down.
Mm-hmm.
I would take my allowance money and I would go and get booster packs. If they were out of booster packs, I would leave crying because I would be so disappointed. But when I did get the cards, I was always super excited because I was going for Charizard.
Sure.
I remember going in there and watching the person in front of me who just purchased a box. He was sitting there going through, and he purchased a box, but he didn't buy just a box. He bought like half of one, and then it went into the other.
Sure.
So he was buying multiple card booster packs. He was buying multiple booster packs for multiple boxes, and he opened a Charizard in store in front of me, and my soul was crushed. I would later go on to own other Charizards because, believe it or not, I was really good at trading my friends in 3rd grade. I hustled the crap out of Pokemon. Pokemon taught me good customer service. Let's move on to Pac-Man.
Waka, 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 waka.
I love Pac-Man.
I do too.
I really want to get the standing. No, it's the sitting one, right?
Ms.
It's-
Pac-Man, sit down, put your beer on it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man's so much cooler.
Right.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't play
should
Pac-Man?
you should explain this to me.
You've never played Pac-Man.
I've played Pac-Man. I mean, what are you talking about with the sit down with the beer and is
Okay,
it like
so
a,
like-
Oh, it's a tabletop game.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
basically, they have the stand-up arcades.
Yes.
And then in bars in the 80s, they had a lot like you could play Centipede or Things the Roller, but they would have like a glass
Yeah, you would
top.
sit to play.
And you would sit down and you'd
And
be
people
able
would
to
scratch
like
the hell out of them, and
seen
now you
those.
can't play them. anymore.
totally
Okay.
right.
But Pac-Man, I gotta include it on the list because I think Pac-Man's classic. Pac-Man's one of my favorite like arcade games, and for the first appearance is tied for 2 different things here because you have the Mad 233 appearance, which he makes the cover. Mad magazine, it's a magazine. However, we know its roots. So it counts to some
counts.
collectors. And we also have a really fun Archie issue number 130 appearance, which features Pac-Man's first appearance in comic books. So
That is crazy. Again, so many of these Archie comics that should be worth nothing. No offense to Archie fans out there, but all of a sudden we've got these Betty and Veronicas with, Jason and Cheryl Blossom spiking. All of these Sabrina books are spiking, and it's kind of cool to see Archie all of a sudden popular. Maybe this Pac-Man book could be worth something someday.
oh my goodness. All right. Last on this list, I had to include her, one of my favorite cave explorers. We have Laura Croft, first appearance in Mean Machines, August 1996.
I remember playing Tomb Raider, and I loved that game. And while I could never find the actual no clothes hack, I do remember vividly playing with my friend. Not that way. I remember playing Tomb Raider with my friend, and he didn't have a memory card. So we had to keep turning off the TV and hoping to God his mom wouldn't come in and vacuum the room and unplug the PlayStation.
We're talking PlayStation with memory cards. So what a lot of people would do is they would leave their PlayStations on. And if you remember a lot of games like Resident Evil had multiple discs.
Yes. If you couldn't find a typewriter, you could.
So yeah, you're pausing and just letting that.
And it would make your timer go up, so it would show that you took 25
94 hours.
Yeah, come on, I'm better than that. I just had to leave it on. I'd beat it way quicker than that if I wasn't lit. Whatever, cut that.
No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it because it's the truth first. Thank you so much to comicbookinvest.com. We do appreciate you making such awesome comic book themed content. I love video games. I love video games so much that these are just my favorite picks. There's so many others that we could discuss. So we're making this a two-parter.
What?
We're going to come back. Look out, because next week we're going to be talking about comic books that feature first appearance in video games exclusively for movies that are optioned or announced.
That sounds like an awesome one. Make sure you tune in next week. Like, subscribe, comment down below. We'd love to hear what you think of these videos.
Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the part 2 drops. Coming soon.
And as always, geek responsibly.
Enough said. Thank you so much to our winner,
Jitterbug Jet.
Jitterbug Gent. You won Avenging Spider-Man issue number 12, the first appearance of the Scarlet Spider-Ham. Hit the description to email us, and we'll get you this comic book.